Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, April 11th. We're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and NQ. So first off, congrats to all of you surviving a week. You should be very proud. Anybody who traded this week should be very proud. You traded through a lot of history this week between ranges for the day, time frame, volume, you name it. Not an easy week to trade. It was a fun week to trade at times. But pat yourselves on the back. If you made money, great job. If you lost but kept yourself in the game, there's nothing wrong with that either. Today seemed like a quiet day, and we still had over a $16 range. And our volume certainly came in, but we're going to be doing over 90 million, so they'll still get us in the top 10. We had a discussion in the room, I might call them, and I'm going to go over all the charts, but, would I call the daily up? And I said, you know what? Yes, we're one time framing up 4 days, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, yesterday, and today. Now, even though yesterday was an inside day, doesn't stop. However, that's why it's an art and it's subjective, but you have to keep things in context. Yes, we are one time framing up 4 days in a row, but keep the context of we had a $55 range on Wednesday. Unless we take out Wednesday's high or Monday's low, okay, nothing's changed. So to me, I'm going to keep this balance. We could one time frame up again on Monday for 5 days. Now, generally, once we get at least 3 days, and now it's 4, you'd say, okay, the daily's definitely up. If you want to call it up, there's nothing wrong with that. At best, I would call it balanced to up. I think that's important because you don't want to lose sight of the fact that if you're just calling it up and you think, things are all clear for the bulls, and it's the same thing in NQ, well, things aren't all clear for the bulls. We're still down the monthly and weekly, and unless we can really firmly take out Wednesday's high, we're still in balance to me. Again, that's how I look at it. Now, we all had inside days yesterday. ES came out of theirs late, in I period. Yeah, you got paid some. The market absolutely got tired and stalled out here, which didn't surprise me. We failed on a trend day down. We failed on a trend day up again. NQ barely took out yesterday's high. So I would treat NQ as a double inside day. Righty never took out yesterday's high. So righty ends with an afternoon pullback and a double inside day. Okay? Righty has spent 2 full days trading inside the single prints from Wednesday. That's it. Filling the volume. Look at how light the volume was. Well, they spent 2 days filling it out. NQ ends with an afternoon pullback in I, and that's it. ES, same thing. Pullback in I, and that's it. None of us probed towards the end at the end of the day. We attempted to have change take place when G period attempted to get above A's high and go trend up, but it didn't hold. Now, ES came back and just filled it, and that was it. So this is still a pretty important level for me come Monday. NQ not only came in I below A's, it came below A's high pretty good. So, yes, it's an afternoon pullback, but I'm not sure if it's as important as ES's. I had a good day. I'm just going to quickly go over these. I'm exhausted. It's been a long week. We had... A and B, we did some decent trading, but C and D turned out to be pretty much garbage. And we had like an hour discussion on everything about breaking down the profile, terms, everything. I should have recorded it and taped it. It would have been a great hour webinar. One thing I was telling the room today, after C took out the IB low, we didn't get any extension or anything, and then this turned into slop. I said, why would you want to trade in here? There's nothing happening. Don't blow any mental fuel. And I was saying, what happens is traders are just getting whipsawed in here, burning mental fuel. So if you do get a move, they'll miss it. And that's probably happened to a lot of them today. Their mental tank is empty. They don't know and then all of a sudden, boom, the market goes and they get left in the dust. I had a great GH and I period because we were talking about the market in C and D and E. We weren't getting caught up looking for trades inside of this mess. Very important. Very, very important. So my first 3 trades of the day were shorts. A period, I shorted against the 144. Got paid, and that was it. B period, 1 short to take out A's low to get the one-time framing. C period, 1 short to get the IB low. Then after that, I did nothing until F. I took a long, and then Q, because POC had been raised, and I didn't think when we came in, I figured POC was being raised, and we looked like we had a good chance to finally take out both sides of the IB. And I nailed it in G period on 2 sides here. I took the long to get the IB high, and then I shorted. I had a short at K's high, which was the afternoon rally high from yesterday. That came in immediately and got paid. So I got both sides of that. And then after that was just all long. I mean, I smacked them around. My next goal was the overnight high. Now, ES got theirs a little easier than NQ did. NQ was all over the map, back and forth. But I kept buying any pullback. And finally, we didn't get it till I, but did very well in G. H period, same thing. Looking to get it. And then in I period, boy, oh boy, I nailed the afternoon pullback. I said I wouldn't doubt. They still hadn't gotten the overnight high. I said I wouldn't doubt some of these buyers are getting frustrated. If they give it up, I want to be a buyer because I still think they go get it. And boy, oh boy, I had a bid in, got it. That was a beauty. And then I also got the long to get the overnight high. And those were my last trades. Nailed them. Absolutely smacked them around, slapped them around in GH and I. So it was a good week. An exhausting week, but a good week. I'm not going to go over destinations. So I showed you the balance here on Window Trader. Let's go to the charts now and look at everything and how that looks. And by the way, Sunday will be I started Camelback trading April 13th, 2020. So we'll be starting our 6th year come Monday. And I have a lot of people from joining up the first day and first week. Tells me I'm doing something right. So if you ever want to try out a trading room, please come and join us. So here's IWM. IWM obviously is firmly down on the monthly. Their monthly low is 171.73. I still think that's important because this is the level I talked about for a long time when they made an all-time high in August of 2018, and then took 2 years to get back over, right? And then look how many times we kept coming back to it throughout this whole stretch here after the all-time high. Are we going to do that again? Remember the way I said this was similar and we came in? Are we going to really come in and keep doing it? Or it's a one-time thing when we go back up? We don't know because it's a monthly, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. So the monthly is down. The weekly is down. That's for sure. Okay? And the daily, again, for me, it's balanced, especially for them. They have 2 inside days in a row. Okay? So this is one big balance here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So last Friday through today, Wednesday's the high of it, and actually, Monday's the low of it. That's your balance. It's a 6-day balance. So they're down on the monthly and weekly, balance on the daily. Here's the Qs. Now, again, this is a nice looking candle, but it's also only April 11th. If they keep it up here and have a nice hammer, then maybe, we put in lows for a while. Okay? However, do not forget the yearly low is in the overnight. I'm not convinced that holds. Okay? But the monthly is down, even a decent looking candle. The weekly is down. And the daily, again, I would call balance. It's subjective. I would use Wednesday's high and Monday's low. We can stay in this balance for a while. You realize this balance, right? So Wednesday's high is, I'm going to round it out, 468. Monday's low is 402. That's a $66 balance. That's a yearly range sometimes. We did it in 5 trading days. So do not be surprised if it takes a while to come out of this balance. That's why I'm not calling the dailies up. Okay? So they're down, monthly, weekly, and imbalance on the daily. And then in the S&P, it's going to be the same thing. It's a nice looking candle. But it's only mid-month. And they're down. The weekly is certainly down. Right? Certainly down. And then the daily again. Yes, we're one time framing up for 4 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Even though it was an inside day Thursday. However, I'm calling it balance until we take out Wednesday's high. If we take out Wednesday's high. Right? So we've gone bear, balance. We did go back to bull for a couple of days, if you noticed, back in March 21st, 22nd. Right back to balance, to bear, to balance, to bear, and now a huge balance. I really appreciate it when you like and subscribe to this channel. It takes 2 seconds to hit the like button, so please do it. Tell your friends, family, whoever likes trading or is interested. Think about it. There's a lot of people that don't understand the market at all. They just look at the Dow, and that's how they think the market is doing. Tell them to look at these videos, especially when I do the charts like this. Maybe it gives them a little basic understanding of what they're looking at. Anyway, I hope you had a great week trading. Rest up, enjoy your weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening.